Hi, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. I have another story to share with you today. It's called The Way Home for Wolf, and it's actually written by the same author and illustrator as the Koala book that I shared with you last week, Rachel Bright and Jim Field. And this book was actually donated to our classroom by Lena Jackson from the Scholastic Book Fair. So thank you, Lena. The Way Home for Wolf. As a rainbow of lights flickered soft in the night, dusting diamonds of ice in a desert of white, the wild, whipping wind, it whistled its tune to a howling of wolves and a shimmering moon. And the loudest "ow" in this echoing song was a wolfling called Wilf at the heart of the throng. He loved to be fierce and longed to be grown. He liked to try everything all on his own. "Look at me, I am big, I am tough," he would growl, while he showed off his strength and practiced his prowl. One night it was time for the wolves to move on. New folks had moved in, and their shelter was gone. So they left right away to find a new cave. They would have to walk far, and they'd have to be brave. "Let's go," shouted Wilf. "I'm ready to lead." "You're too small," laughed the wolves. "It's an elder we need." "One day," they advised, "you will guide from the front." "I suppose," muttered Wilf, with a huff and a grunt. They struggled through snow as high as their flanks, and leapt over rocks as they scaled icy banks. Wilf gave his all to keep pace and to keep up, but strong-willed as he was still just a pup. He kept dropping back with each clamber and climb, as the pack journeyed farther away all the time. Exhausted and breathless, he strayed off the track when a blizzard blew in. And he lost his way back. He got left behind. Wilf longed to howl help and to holler it loud, but his throat was too hoarse and his heart was too proud. He lay on the tundra, his tail curled up tight. A blanket of stars was his bed for the night, until you can see him sleeping here in the cold snow all by himself. Crack! The ice went crack and creak. Wilf jumped up to all fours with a deafening shriek. He stuck out the claws on every limb. He had to hold on because Wilflings can't swim. Then he fell and he fell, rolling and spinning. It felt like the end, but it was just the beginning. You can see he fell through the ice and now he's in the water. Since somebody down there had heeded his scream, and she swooped from beneath like a watery dream. "I'll help you," she called. "Just reach for my horn. A majestic and magical sea unicorn." Wilf's pride washed away as he stretched out a paw, as she lifted him gently back onto the shore. "Don't worry," she sung before dipping her brows. "My friend, Mr. Walrus, will help you out now." And there, right behind him, a huge tusky fellow lifted his whiskers and let out a bellow. To the ridge, he proclaimed, with his chin in the air. My friend, mighty musk ox, will take you from there. And with waftings of fish and a very loud snort, their journey was made, and their travel seemed short. You can see the little wolf is riding on top of his head. And there, sure enough, on the ridge was the ox, who took Wilf as far as his friend, Arctic Fox, who followed his nose through the trees, to a goose, who guided him, honking, to the ancient moose. The moose knew these wilds like no other soul. He was steady and true in pursuit of their goal. And twilight closed in. Moose sang out a call to a fluttering, tiny fluff ball. A bear moth who showed Wilf the rest of the way to the place where this wolfling most wanted to stay. Thank you, Wilf waved as he rejoined his pack, and the wolves howled with joy that their wolfling was back. They huddled him and cuddled him close and fussed over which wolf had missed him the most. Wilf, he knew then that when all come together, the darkest of times are easy to weather. So he bowed to the narwhal, ox, walrus, and goose, and vowed to the fox and the moth and the moose, if I ever meet one who's strayed off their track, I'll help them along by guiding them back. And true to his word, Wilf is different now, and his world seems much smaller and warmer somehow, since wherever life takes you, wherever you roam, we're all just a handful of friendships from home. And you can see he's looking up at the moth that helped him find his way home. And I thought this was a great story because during class huddle, we've been talking a lot about big problems and small problems and the difference between those two. And I think Wolf had a big problem in this story when he lost his way home. And we learned from him that it's good to ask for help when you need it. And he had some really great friends that helped him find his way home. So that's it for today's story. I will send you another one of these in just a few days. Bye.